Hi, I'm Taylor Walker. I am 30 years old. I'm 5'8" and I'm with Gillaroo's Miami.
Experience started with a company called Ultimate Athlete Magazine. I would put together media pieces for them. We would go to different conventions and games, and I would interview everyone from the coaches to the players to people that were there promoting their products like energy drinks and things like that. After a while, we would start to put them online on ultimateathletemagazine.com, and shortly after that, I went out to LA to do a stint on E! News Now, where I would do strictly entertainment coverage. And then from there, I moved to Miami, Florida, where I started doing a lot more TV commercials. I've been featured in ads for and commercial work on camera for Belk department stores, for KFC and McDonald's, as well as some other companies, including City Furniture. I've had quite a few moments that inspired me along the way as an athlete and as a professional dancer. However, the most inspiring moment for me had to be when I was a TA for a high school special needs program. I was in school at 7 a.m. every day, and I worked with some of the most incredible children, but this one child in particular, his name was Wesley, and he came home from he came back to the classroom from group counseling one day, and he was hysterical crying. And this kid always had the greatest spirit. He wasn't physically impaired, but it was more mental and social for him. And he looked at me and said, "Miss Walker, I'm not normal," as he sobbed in my arms. And we had the most beautiful discussion about what is normalcy. We talked about if he got up every day and brushed his teeth, what his favorite TV shows were, what his favorite sports teams were, what his goals and aspirations were. And at the end of that conversation, he just looked at me and said, "Miss Walker, I love you." And at that moment, I knew that I wanted to continue to be an inspiration, and that was the moment that inspired me to go back and get my master's to become a teacher. I've had quite a few embarrassing moments. I've been, like I said, a dancer, and I feel like sometimes I can't even stand on my own 2 feet. I can do 4 pirouettes, but sometimes I can't even walk up the steps. But an embarrassing moment happened to me when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. I grew up with two brothers flanked on each side who loved to make fun of me. And I think it was about 4th grade I had my first crush, and my older brother got the entire bus to start chanting, "Taylor loves Mark, Taylor loves Mark." And I remember, even now at 30 years old, I remember that feeling of embarrassment, that it forced me to get off the bus and actually go to the principal on my own brother. And unfortunately, I think that joke was on me, because when we got home, my mom was at the front door with her arms crossed, and we both got in trouble. So even though I was so thoroughly embarrassed by my brother, goes to show you not to go to the principal on family. I'd say something that truly makes me unique is I grew up in a NFL family. My father was Wesley Walker, and he actually used to support the United Way and did a few commercials in the 70s for you guys, and we were a family. And the NFL community was so special in those days, because I think a lot of the men that were playing did it for the love of the game, and after they retired, they all had to go back to quote-unquote normal life and get jobs, and my father actually became a PE teacher. So even though my family grew up in the spotlight, I think it goes to show you that people are people, no matter what, and I've kind of kept that with me along my career, from my teaching career to my professional dance career, and even through doing some of my other modeling and different jobs like that. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised on Long Island in New York, and I've been a dancer my entire life. I loved it. It was the one thing that made sense to me, and I actually ended up receiving a full scholarship to attend Towson University and be on the Towson dance team. The Towson dance team definitely shaped my adult career. We won 4 national championships, and just recently, last week, they won their 17th national title. It taught me how to be the most driven and hardworking person that I could possibly be. After graduation, I wanted to continue my dance career, where I auditioned for the New Jersey Nets. I became a New Jersey Nets dancer and danced back up for some of the world's most famous artists, including Taylor Swift and Pitbull. But I was inspired by my students, as I told you earlier, and I became a PE teacher. So I got my master's, I graduated top 5% of my class, became a ninth grade PE teacher where I taught the most amazing students. From there, I got engaged and was forced to move to Oregon for my husband's job, and I didn't know what I was going to do besides teaching. Dance was always there, and I worked with the Oregon dance team for a while and started my fitness modeling career. I worked for campaigns with Nike, with Under Armour, and after moving to Miami, just wanted to continue to work. I signed with Wilhelmina Models as a fitness model and just continue to inspire people the best that I can through living an active and healthy lifestyle. If I could change one thing in the world, I think it would definitely be racism. I grew up in a mixed household. My mom was Italian and Russian Jewish. Her last name was Epstein, and my dad is Black and Native American. And growing up, especially as told in the NFL, we really didn't see color. There were so many mixed families, and I've had my own experiences that have shaped me to this point. My husband is German, and he's blonde and blue and from Ohio, so our kids will be mixed. And I think the media has surged, and with how much that is out there these days, it's black against white, against all these different cultures. And I think what's truly special about people is what's inside. We're all the same. And if I could change one thing about this world, that would be it. Because every culture has beauty. Every person has beauty on the inside and on the outside. And if I could negate that, that would be the one thing I would definitely love to change about this world. I think many people have passions in life, and I definitely have a few. Living an active and healthy lifestyle is something that I try to preach and walk the walk and talk the talk every single day. And food is a huge part of that. I think food is memories. I think food brings people together, and that might sound funny, but at the end of the day, sitting around the dinner table and sharing your experiences and what went on in your day. And I love developing healthy recipes that people can share with their families. I think being healthy is definitely a lifestyle. I don't believe in dieting. I don't believe in weighing yourself every day. But I definitely have a passion for learning about food and where it comes from and how it affects your body. And seeing my husband, who is from Ohio and loves cheese and gravy on everything, have full-on conversations with his coworkers about kale and quinoa and his NutriBullet makes me so happy. And to know that I can help people and offer them recipes through my blog, and that I have followers that are, responding and how excited they are to find healthier alternatives to some of their favorite foods makes me so happy and continues to drive my passion to live an active and healthy lifestyle. I would love to host the show, not only because the United Way has had an impact on my family, but I also believe that there are heroes around every single corner, ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I would love to hear their stories, find out more about them, and bring them to viewers at home. I believe that I would be a good host for the show, because I think I represent so many different cultures and so many different people, and B, because I love to find ways to connect with people, whether it's finding a hobby that we have in common or a food that we both enjoy. But more importantly, I love learning about people, and I love making those connections. So I do think that I would be a good host for the show because I have on-camera experience and because I want to hear more about everyday people making incredible change in this world. I can't live without my friends. My family, they are my friends, but I have also been so fortunate to have people come into my life over the years. I've had some of the best friends in the world that stood next to me on my wedding day that I've known since I'm 4 years old. And I don't think that happens every day. And I think people start to take their support system for granted. So for me, I think my friendships are truly the one thing that I cannot live without. social media is kind of a driving force within my brand. I love to use Instagram. I have over 3,500 followers on Instagram, and I love promoting blog content and inspiring pictures and quotes and workouts. I also have TaylorWalkerFit.com, where I do cooking videos, healthy cooking videos. I do class reviews. I do home workouts, and even do fitness fashion trends. And I use Facebook. I think I started doing Facebook in college, and it kind of changed the college environment tremendously. I have over 2,500 followers on Facebook, so Facebook friends. I have just about 1,000 likes on my fan page. I use Pinterest and Twitter as well, and also my YouTube channel where I do my healthy cooking, and that's about it. So social media, I think sometimes can be borderline obsessed, and I have to put my phone away, but I do think it's a great way to connect with people and still continue to inspire people only through pictures and just word exchanges. I think social media is a large part of my branding. Before I moved out of New York, I worked with a organization called Athletes Helping Athletes. I was a part of it when I was in high school, and then while I was a teacher, I started a chapter there where they would go, where high school students would be, they would get their GPAs, they would have to be nominated by 3 teachers, and we would choose a select group of leaders, and they had to also be athletes, and athletes meaning they could be cheerleaders, dancers, football players, basketball players, volleyball players, and we would take them into their respected elementary schools, and they would tell stories about times where they got peer pressured, where maybe bullying was a part of their life, and how to, as an athlete, be leaders and how to overcome or rise above a lot of the social pressures that these students feel. And today, although I do some choreography for collegiate teams, I also volunteer my time as an alumni with the Towson dance team, and I go down to nationals to support and help inspire the team to win another title and coach them through whatever they need to be coached with. Once again, I'm Taylor Walker, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today. Have a good day.